could tell, especially in San Antonio, people were upset. Like, oh, this is shit. This is bullshit. This is fake. This is rigged. Oh, Jesus Christ. So say what you want about the fight. I don't think anybody got robbed. A robbery, we've seen way bigger robberies. For this fight, it's right, so it's pretty clear. Rounds 1 and 2 is Don McGrath. It's gonna be tough to argue against that. Round 3 is where it gets dicey. Round 3, you're like, oh man. 4 and 5 is John Jones. So depending on I score round 3 is who you're gonna give the fight to. I scored it for Don McGrath, so I had Reyes win the fight. I'm up to any argument that Jones went out there. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. You know, but again, it's hard. It does say a robbery. You know, it wasn't one of those fights. It was one of those fights where, in my eyes, he won 3 out of the 5 rounds. So he should have got the nod. He didn't. The 3rd round was close. Some people gave it to Jones. All right, I get that. Moving on. It's a shitty deal. It's a really shitty deal. This is what you can't do. I see this online and people in person go, but dude, rounds 4 and 5, John really dominated in the 5th round. If they would have kept going, you know, I always do, if it was in the streets, what are you talking about? What? But that's not our sport. The sport of mixed martial arts is around, 5-minute rounds, 5 rounds, you have 25 minutes, 1 minute break in between. That's it. So your theory of, yeah, but if it would have kept going, man, and they would have more time, John would have finished him. What are you talking about? That's like in a football game, man, yeah, if the Niners could have got the ball one more time. Yeah, but they didn't. They in the time that they had to get the job done, they didn't get it done. That's what we're critiquing this off. That's what we base this off of. So anything else is irrelevant. Those narratives make no sense. Stop doing that. Also, and it's not me, this is the way the sport is. Round 1 counts just as much as round 5. Just because time has gone by and you want to hold more weight in round 5, that's not the way the sport works. Yeah, but I don't give a fuck what you think. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. The only thing that matters are the rules and the way mixed martial arts is scored and scored. It's 5-minute rounds with 1 minute break in between. Outside that, doesn't matter. Round 2 is just about as round 5. Round 4 just as bad as round 1. That's it. So you look as a whole. Those rounds that are 5, I have for Don McGrath.
Well, you know that all-powerful, all-seeing Cthulhu old god that's been rampaging the entire world as we know it? How about you just go take him out real quick? What's the reward, I hear you ask? Well, an insurmountable villain requires astronomical rewards, and it's just Azrael power. Well, he called me champion, I guess, so that's all I need.
Oh my god, he's so handsome.
Champion, let me have your babies!
This is Machinima from Captain Grimm, by the way. You should check it out, it's hilarious. I'll have a link in the description. But through the story, you unlock the Nizath assault system. Every week, 2 zones, Uldum and the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, will come under assault by Nizath. Here you can do some daily quests, daily objectives, and kill daily rares for some Azerite, chests, a weekly world boss, and some new currencies, which we'll talk about later. And daily, you'll also be able to enter what is called a vision of a certain area of that zone. Basically, it's a premonition of what the world would be like had Nizath succeeded. You go here and, click 10 civilians to save it, I guess. Whew, good job, everybody. I'm gonna call this area saved. In addition to all of this, we also have the minor assault in the opposite zone of the major assault. Basically the same thing. Daily quests, daily objectives, daily rares. It's just missing the weekly world boss and that daily mini vision. I keep saying vision though, so what are these exactly? Well, you have the mini ones, like I explained, but the main event are the horrific visions. Unlocked through those story quests, in the Chamber of the Heart, you'll be able to spend the new currency that you've been obtaining on keystones to enter what are called horrific visions. These are on a much grander scale, taking place in the heart of your faction's capitals, Orgrimmar or Stormwind. You have a special meter called Sanity, which drains slowly over time, or when you get hit, and there are several objectives per vision for you to complete. The more you complete, the more rewards you get, but the more risky it is, as these areas are typically more dangerous, with special negative affixes or increased sanity decay. As you can see, when you enter this area of Stormwind, you get this annoying debuff that makes you jump randomly. The vision is considered completed when you kill the faction leader, which is Illyria for Stormwind and Thrall for Horde, and the setting changes week by week. And to increase the difficulty and rewards even further, there are these hidden masks that you can also unlock. To make your time easier, after successful runs, you'll get a currency which you spend on a skill tree to increase your ability to stay sane while inside the vision. Outside of the new raid, this is the new major draw of 8.3. and what Blizzard is hoping to hook players with. Again, I have some stuff to say about this, but for now, I'll let you gather your own thoughts, and I'll explain mine at the end. The main reason to do them is to upgrade your legendary cloak. Again, unlocked through the story quests, and aside from just having a high eye level, this also helps you stay sane while inside the vision. After each successful run, you're given an item to upgrade the cloak by 1 rank, and at certain tier, it upgrades in ability and looks. So, it's another form of character progression, really. You have your normal gearing, your Azerite and essences, and now a cloak. And another new thing is corrupted loot, which is taking the place of Titan forging. Basically, certain pieces of gear are corrupted, and you get a nice bonus affix, but it also increases your corruption meter. The higher meter you have, the more severe penalties you get. For example, at Tier 1 corruption, you'll randomly get a movement speed debuff, and at Tier 2, there's a chance that an eye will spawn next to you and deal damage if you're too close, and so on. So the goal is to create this yin-yang of getting more and more powerful with more corruption, but also balancing that with detrimental effects. Because of all of this, they've removed Titan Forging and War Forging from Season 4 items in the game to reduce some of the random nature of the loot. And of course, we have the new raid, Nyalotha. This is where it gets to be a bit too spoilery, so I won't go too much into this. There's really not a whole lot to say though. It's a new raid tier. And that's 8.3 in a nutshell. I said that I'd share my thoughts on all of this, now that I've had some good playtime in. So here's the opinion part of the video. I know opinions are really scary, but I think we'll survive. But if you're afraid of them, you can stop this video now, or continue on knowing this and complain anyways. Hey, it's a free country. Well, overall, I like the patch. I've been having fun with it so far. I'm not sure how much long-term appeal it'll have, which I'll explain in a bit, But for now, I'm having fun with it, and it's been a while since I've been able to say that about Kern, which makes me happy. Yes, despite the voice, I promise you that I am capable of emotion. I've always considered myself an optimist, so let's start with the positives. The new raid, as they always are, is impeccable. Say what you want about BFA, or Legion, or hell, even Draenor. The raids in current World of Warcraft are top-notch. Each boss brings a unique challenge to the table, and with the re-release of Classic, you can really see just how far they've come in terms of boss design, since we now have that direct comparison. My favorite is this one, where your raid gets 2 different debuffs that lets you see certain enemies, and you have to find the one that everyone sees. If you kill the wrong one, you wipe, and it's hectic because there's some constant damage going out throughout the entire phase. Rathian is pretty fun as well. I like how every dragon fight retains echoes of the past from old school raiding. Here you can see he retains his infamous tail swipe that knocks players back. Luckily, no whelps to worry about in this one, so your DKP is safe. No matter what criticisms you can draw from BFA or current World of Warcraft in general, you'll be hard-pressed to find anything to complain about in the boss design in the raids. It's unmatched in my opinion. And just aesthetically, Nyalotha is their best yet, I think. You're totally drawn into the atmosphere, and it's quickly becoming one of my favorite raids. But moving on to the visions, these are alright. The way that they work and how you can choose to be risky for higher reward and uncover new areas is fun. There's also lots of stuff to discover and side objectives to investigate. My main worry though is for how long these will be fun. Inevitably through cloak upgrades and that skill tree, I'll have seen all of what they have to offer and eventually just overpower them, I'm sure. Inevitably, my cloak will max out, and I'll have no reason to do them aside from the convention of it, which, with the former point, doesn't seem to me they'll have any sort of longevity. And assuming we're following the release schedule of previous expansions, they're banking on people keeping themselves occupied with this for a long time. BFA and Legion released in August, so assuming the same is true for Shadowlands, that's about 7 months of 8.3 content, which I wager just after a couple of months, most of the players will have exhausted. But wait a second, you do get gear from these. Depending on how many side objectives you do, you can get anywhere from 420 to 470 split up into these tiers, but only once a week. If you do the full clear and all of the masks, you only get rewards for that once as it's a weekly lockout. So there is a reason outside of the cloak to do them, which leads me to my next point though. Just how much have I said the words daily and weekly in this video? A negative I feel with 8.3 is that it's adding even more daily and weekly stuff on top of an already astronomical amount of daily and weekly stuff. Let's entertain this actually. Just how much daily and weekly stuff is there in BFA? We have daily world quests on 7 zones now, a daily emissary, daily quests in Mechagon, daily quests in Nazjatar, daily quests in the 2 assault zones, along with the daily mini-vision. You have your daily mission table missions, your daily warfront contribution quests, and if you control the warfronts, daily quests in 2 more zones, a daily faction incursion, being generous there since they're actually every 16 hours, and as for weekly, we have the island expedition bar, world bosses in several zones, I think 5 total. We have base BFA, 2 warfront bosses, Nazjatar and the Nazath Assault, I think. We have 2 warfront scenarios on 2 difficulties, and the latest raid on 4 difficulties. We have the weekly Greater Assault bar, your weekly PvP chest, and your Call to Arms dailies, and your weekly Mythic Plus chest, of course, and your weekly Adventure Guide quest. And if you're outnumbered, your weekly Against Overwhelming Odds PvP quest. And now, with the visions, you have your weekly gear on multiple tiers. Is this it? There's so much, I've honestly lost count. Feel free to add to this if you think I missed any. And before you make the argument that, well, you don't need to do all of this stuff, my counter to that is, yeah, you don't, but with the Azerite system and virtually all of this stuff giving you Azerite power, along with the fact that Titan Forging being present in 80% of the game's run so far, you're inclined to. That's current in a nutshell. You're inclined to do all of this stuff so you don't fall behind. To me, it's like doing chores, and that's what all my friends call it. Hey, you do your chores yet? No, not yet. I feel like daily stuff has its place within reason, but at a certain point, it's just feeding into engagement metrics to fool naive shareholders into believing that the game is healthy. You'll be hard-pressed to find people who'll say that they want to do these dailies, instead of saying that they have to do these dailies. Just pay attention to the nomenclature of your friends the next time you log in. Whenever they mention any daily activity, you'll hear the words have to more often than you'd think. I mean, let's do a quick survey. Who here likes the fact that the entire game is based around giving you menial daily chores to complete with the constant threat of falling behind on your back? Like this one, run a line to make a shape. It's not difficult in any way. There's no real thought to it. It's not fun, at least to me. It's just an excuse to get you to fly all the way out here to complete your daily quest for your carrot. It's like saying, here, draw a triangle in MS Paint. Good. Fun, right? To me, it's not good game design. There are ways to keep players wanting to come back without stringing a carrot on a stick in front of them and giving them the idea that if they don't keep up, they're punished. It's the design philosophy of mobile gaming. The only thing they're missing is, oh my god, they've actually done it. Well, at least they're not trying to hide it. It's why, in my Is Classic Casual Friendly video, I say that I think Classic is more casual friendly than current. It's because there aren't 5,000 daily and weekly things to bait you into this gerbil-like routine of 9 million daily chores. And hey, tripling the active subscriber amount on the game's release is a pretty hard thing to argue against. For BFA, it's too late. All of this stuff is already tied to the game. There's no really changing it. My only hope is that they put the player before the shareholder in Shadowlands and focus more on making a better overall game, rather than slapping a band-aid on a gushing wound in the form of daily and weekly busy work. All in all, I am enjoying 8.3. I just don't know for how long. I think the game as a whole today relies too heavily on daily and weekly stuff to keep engagement metrics up, and 8.3 adds on top of this even more daily and weekly stuff. It's something that
You took everything to the trash?
Yeah.
Pull out?
Yeah.
Pretty sure the trash, like in our can inside, pretty sure that doesn't need to go out yet. I think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I back this up and raise them with your drink or you still?
I'm still drinking my drink, thank you though.
Okay.
Alright, let me take this trash out. Get my shoes on because it's raining. So. You got Mom and Ali on. Hey. this trash out quick. That's what I've been dealing with since you're in the shower. Damn.
where you see fit out there?
Yes.
I want to get to our bed.
What, you?
Excited to get to bed.
Gonna read a little bit.
Yeah, I just have my epilogue to read and then it's done.
Then what stuff?
Huh?
You said that it's what stuff?
My book.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll read the epilogue. That's it. Put all his cards in the basket. That's where he likes it right now. Okay?
Okay.
Huh?
I said okay. Oh, shit. Dead there.
Huh?
There's a dead there.
Um, really? I thought you'd take it.
But you're like extending it out to throw in. Go.
And another one. Where's the container? There it is.
Easy down here, girl.
I don't like how you call me that.
What, girl?
Big girl.
I said girl.
Well, still.
Okay. I won't probably take one off. There we go.
See the white one?
Yeah.
Put it out for him.
Lit. You put the best one out for him.
Can you put it in front of the door?
What?
Can you put it this in front of the door?
Yes.
Cute.
Thank you.
Why are you coming straight towards me? She does that to Naz and he just screams.
Ah!
You too fucking mad at it? Running into my ass. I love setting this up.
I know, it's like your thing.
Huh?
It's like your thing.
It is. It's fine. How's it look?
It's really good. A little clean, the power.
He loves that his tail moves a little bit.
Free loot, 14.
Huh?
We get free loot if they get this killed because we didn't do anything. What?
Come here, Damien.
You need me?
Push this to our room.
Push the arm into our room? To our room the almond goes. Get away from my computer. Shoot. Get away from my computer, Roomba. Shoot.